everyone, and welcome to the very first edition of the Scott Thielke Show. With me is Coach Scott Thielke, head coach of men's and women's tennis. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Jumping in with the women here, you had some tough matches to end the kind of indoor season there, but a nice 7-2 win over Otterbein. What went right in that win?
Well, I think the best part about the women's team right now is that they're continuing to fight, and so they fought throughout the whole early part of the season indoors, and they were fighting really well, and so I think that that's a good sign for us, and I think what went well for us against Otterbein was that we continued to fight really hard and really well and pulled out some good wins.
And you mentioned in our season preview that you had a very young team on the women's side. Over this stretch, have you seen some maturation in those young players?
Yes, we've had some really good maturity happen. We had a really good win at #1 doubles against Case Western, who's one of the top 25 teams in the country. And that's with a sophomore and a freshman winning at #1 doubles. So that was a good sign for us. And so I think that as the time goes on, I think we're going to continue to find that the experience that they're getting playing a lot of matches is going to pay off for us.
And now over spring break, you guys are taking a trip down south to play several schools. What do you guys need to do on this trip, both mentally and actually on the court, to get some wins?
Well, again, our schedule is going to be very tough. I mean, we play University of the South, which they're one of the top 15 teams in the country. So we're going to definitely have to be ready to play them right away. And we play a lot of very tough Division II schools. We play Christopher Newport, who's a good Division III school. We play Oglethorpe University, who's a good Division III school as well. So I think for us to do well, we're going to have to continue to fight pretty hard. But I think over this time period, I think we're playing 6 or 7 matches in a 10-day period. So I think after that, we will be very battle-tested, and hopefully all of that will pay off, and we'll be able to pick up some wins throughout the whole break.
Well, it's definitely a way to develop some tough skin. And now on to everyone's favorite part of the show, the off-topic topic. We wanted to know, if you were to teach any subject at Kenyon, which would you teach and why?
Well, goodness, I wish I was capable of teaching sports psychology. That's something I think that all of the athletes here, not just the tennis players, could really benefit from a sports psychology course. And you learn to try to figure out what the players think about when they're on the court, what they think about off the court, how they prepare themselves for things. So sports psychology would be a big one. I know it's a topic that all of the coaches sort of talk about when we get together, and it's like, yeah, we could certainly use a full-time sports psychologist here.
Well, as someone who's played tennis myself and other sports, it's definitely a mental game as well. So yeah. I agree with you there. It's needed. And then transitioning in after that into the ITA Indoor National Tournament, it was a bit of a tough tournament, 2 losses, 1 win. But what did you see that you liked there, and what did you not really like, and how does the experience of just playing in that tournament help the team?
Well, it's going into the tournament that you're going to play 3 highly ranked teams. So you know that the entire tournament is going to be a battle every time you step out on the court. The Case Western loss was a 5-4 loss, and the loss to Emory is a 5-4 loss. Both of those are matches that last year we won 5-4. So they could have gone either way last year. They could have gone either way this year. So that was a difficult pill to swallow. We lost two really close matches to 2 really good teams, and so that's difficult for us. We gave up some matches where we definitely were in charge of the match, and then didn't finish it. We had a doubles match that we were sort of controlling to a certain extent, and lost that in a tiebreaker. So I think it was tough, but I think the best part for us is that we had to play a 3rd match against California Lutheran. They're the number 7 ranked team in the country, and we came out and we played very, very well in that last match and beat them 8-1. So I was very excited about the fact that we were still hanging in there. I mean, the match didn't start until 7 o'clock at night, and we finished at about midnight. So, and everyone was tired, and so I think for us, it shows that we are really willing to put it all out there and do what it takes to win and never give up. And the two 5-4 losses are matches that we will probably get a chance to avenge later on this year. So our hope is that we gain a little bit from that experience and be able to turn those two losses into wins at the end of the year.
And you mentioned getting healthy, and one of the big names to finally be getting healthy and actually playing this tournament was Michael Razumovsky. Talk about the importance of having him back in the lineup.
It's huge for us because Mike, he played the first match against Case Western, first match back in a very long while. And he was very rusty. You could tell that he was rusty. There were probably certainly a little bit of nerves involved, but I think more so he was very rusty and couldn't do what he normally would do. Then he played the next match against Emory and played the next match against Cal Lutheran. Both of those #1 players are very, very good, and he was able to pull out straight set victories against both of them. So the rust got cleared off pretty quickly, and it's great to have him back. He's going to be a major factor for us, and hopefully, knock on wood, that he's going to stay healthy.
Knock on wood, indeed. And finally, you mentioned doubles pairings, and you're also taking the guys' team south with you this break. Just on trips, a lot of times you talk about teams building chemistry together. Does that help you start seeing some potential double pairings, seeing that chemistry off the court?
Well, I'm not sure if it necessarily helps us figure out what doubles pairings are going to be, but you certainly, in 10 consecutive days on the road, you become very, very close, but you're really excited on day number 10 when everybody just leaves. I know they're probably as excited as I am when it's all over with, but you do become pretty close, and you learn a lot about each other, and I think it'll be good for us. Again, we play a lot of tough matches with the men as well, so we'll build a little bit of character by being together for 10 days, and then we'll take that last 4 or 5 days of spring break and get away from each other, and then be ready to start practice up when we come back.
Well, good luck for the rest of this season, Coach, and especially for this big trip down south over break. And for all the fans out there, if you're anywhere in the South over spring break, especially the Southeast where they will be playing, come out and support both the men's and women's tennis team. And for the King Sports Connection, I'm Matthew Ruskin, and Coach Thielke, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in, fans, and go Lords and go Ladies.